Hi guys, so this video will go over how to write an argumentative introduction paragraph. As you can see, I'm in Schoology right now. My page will look a little bit different from yours, but right now I'm in the materials section. You guys will have this blue folder called Argumentative Unit. Inside of it, we've got a couple different options. I'll show you this first. Ethos, Pathos, Logos, Argumentative Writing, and Debate. We will be using this green folder, Argumentative Writing. And I will be going back and forth between this model essay and writing the introduction paragraph. So I will go to this one right now, which will review the parts. Now, there are three parts of an introduction paragraph: the hook, background information, and your thesis. First, your hook, exactly what it sounds like. It is intended to grab your reader. If your first sentence is boring, no one's going to want to keep reading it. It just sort of sets the tone for the rest of the essay. So there are several different options. You have quote, unusual detail, statistic or fact, strong statement, question, or anecdote. But the three I'm most likely to see are quote, statistic or fact, or rhetorical question. Now, a quote, you want it to be by someone famous, an expert, someone reputable. Just like we talked about in the rhetorical devices unit, this is an example of ethos. We are counting on the fact that we take Obama seriously, we care what he says, we think it's important. So this example says, President Obama once said during the summer, students are losing a lot of what they learn. A longer school year makes sense. So if he thinks it's important, if he thinks that this is true, then it leads the reader to believe that it also may be true. The second, statistic or fact. This is an example of logos or logic. So experts say that during the summer, students lose approximately 22% of what they learn during the school year. It makes the reader think, that's significant. Maybe this is really a problem that I should be concerned with. And finally, a rhetorical question. Rhetorical meaning it's not really meant to be answered, it's meant to make the reader think. Are most Americans satisfied that compared to their peers in Europe and Asia, American students score lower on achievement tests? Obviously, the answer is no. No one would want to be performing lower, but again, it makes the reader want to see what you're going to argue next. And that is an example of pathos. So appealing to emotion, it's satisfaction. The second part is background information. Now, when you initially go into research, you need to have a good idea of what the issue even is. You want to assume that your reader has no idea anything about this topic, that they've never heard of it. So you do need to be specific and clear without going too much into the nitty-gritty. And that, I'm sorry, that probably sounds contradictory, but you want to give them a high-level overview of what's happening. You might want to give them definition of the different topic, part of the topic, or if there are any laws that were passed with it recently, if there are, things that are happening with it now, just kind of gives them a place to kind of start, something that's easily digestible. And then finally, your thesis. So state your claim. We talked about this a lot before the break. This is just you are stating something as fact. Whether or not it's true is up for debate. So I could say the sky is green. That very well may not be factually true, but I can say it as though it is true. So you have your claim, and then you have your reasons. So the sky is green because. So you'll choose your topic, the question that you're trying to answer. In the case of a model that I'm showing you is going to be animal testing, and then the reasons. So animal testing should be banned because X, Y, and Z. I'm going to go to the example page now. So remember, that's in that same green folder called Argumentative Model, Animal Testing. And we are here. So according to PETA, more than 100 million animals, including mice, rats, frogs, dogs, cats, rabbits, hamsters, guinea pigs, monkeys, fish, and birds are killed as a result of animal testing each year. Now notice here, we have these in-text citations, but I will review that in another video. Animal testing uses non-human animals in experiments which seek to control and understand the variables affecting behavior or biological systems. Animals that are used for animal testing can suffer so much that they often die in cruel ways. Most animals are forced to ingest medical drugs or use cosmetic products. Animal testing should be banned because the results cannot be trusted, it is wasteful, and it is cruel to animals. Now let's go back to our introduction paragraph. It's a hook. So we have, let me back up. We have 100 million animals. So that's going to fall in this statistic category. It gives a number. It's meant to shock your reader, right? Animal testing uses non-human animals in experiments which seek to control and understand the variables affecting behavior or biological systems. Animals that are used for animal testing can suffer so much they often die in cruel ways. Most animals are forced to ingest medical drugs or use cosmetic products. So this is, what is animal testing? What are the kind of logistics of it? What happens? Who's kind of involved? And then finally, we have our thesis. Most animals are forced to ingest medical drugs, Animal testing should be banned because the results cannot be trusted, our first reason. It's wasteful, second reason, and it's cruel to animals. Now, the reasons you give here should be the order that you give your paragraph, so they cannot be trusted. Animal testing should be banned because the results may not be consistent in human systems. Has to do with trust. It's wasteful. Look at our second paragraphs. Animal testing should be banned because it's a waste of both money and human lives. If you notice, it's not word for word. It just doesn't say it's wasteful, but it does mean the same thing. It's just obviously, in other words, it's the same thing. And that's about it. So think about this as it's your introduction. It's a way to kind of give you the bare bones of what your topic is about before you dive into it. What's the most high-level thing that they need to know before they get into the specific details? And that's about it. So hopefully that was helpful.